Right, so let's first go back to our local repository. We'll do git status, and we'll do git fetch origin main. All right, so let's see. It's telling us something. It went to our GitHub, it went to the repository, and it grabbed whatever is on the main branch. So origin main grabbed whatever is on the main branch, and we now have those changes. Let's go back in VS Code. Wait, you said now we have those changes. Well, what gives, right? We don't have the update profiles. We don't have the comics. However, let's go back to our GitHub. However, on the main branch here, we have all of those things. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at git status. Now it's telling us something. It says, okay, your branch is behind origin main by 3 commits and can be fast forwarded. So previously we had a git status and it says, okay, branch main, everything's up to date. As far as I know, that's what Git was telling. As far as I know, everything is up to date. But now, since we did a fetch, now our local Git knows that this main branch is behind the main branch on GitHub by 3 commits. So now we're kind of getting somewhere. Well, I can use a git log command. Let's clear this up. I will use git log, and I will say main period origin main, and I'm saying, okay, give me the log between my main branch and what's going on here, and what's going on the main branch in GitHub. And it will tell us, okay, well, there was add profile levels, add new users to profiles, add comics and whatnot. Okay, great. No, that works. We have some new information. And let's clear it up. What if I really want to see what information was added? Well, I can do the same thing. I can say git diff main period origin main, and I'm telling Git, my local Git, hey, what is right now? What's different between? Show me in text, essentially. What's different between the main branch and whatever is on GitHub right now? And if I open that up, well, kind of hard to see it, but essentially, what do we have? We have a commit. Something came in, something came out. Essentially, we have a new comics.txt with Amazing Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk, Batman, Robin, whatnot. We have changes to the profiles.txt. We have removal of these lines and addition of these lines. Remember when I said that Git will not show you that this specific line has changed. It will treat this as this got removed and this got inserted. Even though we actually changed the lines themselves. So we can see the changes and whatnot. And if everything's okay, and if everything's fine, then we can merge those changes into our main branch. And to merge those changes, it's very similar to if we're just working with branches locally. I make sure that I'm on the branch that I want to merge, and I'm saying, okay, well, what branch am I on? I'm on the main branch. So into the main branch, I want to merge whatever I fetched from Git. So I'm going to say git merge origin main. So the origin branch in GitHub, the origin in GitHub, and the main branch itself. I'm merging it into my highlighted main branch. And now, if I do git status, on branch main, your branch is up to date. If I jump into my VS Code, I can see that everything is now up to date. My main branch is now up to date with whatever is going on GitHub on the main branch. And that's fine, right? So what was our flow? We used git fetch to grab any of the changes, but we did not merge them into our repository just yet. We took a look over all of the changes, and then we merged them into our repository. So now they're like a one-to-one copy with the main branch, whatever's going on GitHub. We just went and fetched everything, reconciled everything, and after that, we are ready to work, right? Everything's fine. We run git status on our project. Everything's up to date with origin main, and we get an email or a Slack message from one of our coworkers who said, "Oh, by the way, I just pushed up some few changes from the comics, and that got merged into main as well." Or maybe we stepped away for a little bit. And what if we go to GitHub, to our repository? If we check out main, there's more commits. More added to the comics, and more added to both the comics branch and the main branch. So what? Does it mean that we have to go through our git fetch and review changes again? Well, maybe yes, if you want to review the changes. But our developer says, hey, no worries, you don't have to review the changes. Everything is tested, everything is good. Just merge everything up. Well, for that, we have a shortcut with git pull. Let's go back to our diagram. Where was it? Right? So if we do a fetch from a remote repository, we can, our local git goes to GitHub and grabs the changes. It grabs all the changes that have happened, and then we can review change by change, and then we can merge up whatever we want to merge up into our repository. So like if you want to have control over it. But we can do the pull instead. And it's basically kind of like, think of it like a shortcut. I understand that all the changes are coming in, are all tested, everything is all good. So I'm just going to merge everything in and not worry about it. So I can either do git pull origin main, or since I'm already on the main branch, I can just do git pull. And git pull will essentially says, okay, I'm on the main branch, the origin is on the main branch as well. So it just give me all of the changes that have happened in the main branch and just merge them together. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look at our VS Code. Let's take a look at the comics. Nothing is here yet, and so it's not updated with all of the new comics. And I'll do git pull. Fast forward, everything gets pulled up together. Let's take a look here. All of our comics are there. Books are there, profiles there, and whatnot. So git pull is like, think of it like a complete, like a complete shortcut, essentially. Fetch will let you go over the changes, just to make sure that you trust the changes and whatnot, and git pull will shortcut it and whatnot. And let's take a look at git status again. Everything is up to date with main, so my local repository is up to date with whatever's happening in our GitHub repository in the cloud. And if I run git branch, oh no, there's main, there's profiles, but hold on now, we pulled everything, right? So we pulled everything, merged everything, we skipped the whole fetch part, we pulled it all in our working repository, essentially. But if we take a look here, right, we have 3 branches, and we have a main, comics, and profiles. Now, comics was created by a different developer, our coworker. So as far as our local repository knows, it only knows about the main branch, which we linked, and knows about the profiles branch, but it doesn't know, well, technically it does know about, it does know about the comics branch, but we have not told our local Git to grab the comics branch and to incorporate it into our local repository. And we're going to do that next. Now let's check out how we can actually reconcile all the branches. And this is a little bit, it can look a little tricky, but we'll work through it, right? So what did we establish? Git fetch will grab all the changes, essentially, right? It grabs the changes, what's going on, any changes that happened in our remote repository on GitHub, and it will present us, so to speak. It will present us, so to speak, with the changes. So I'm gonna go and say git fetch -- all. And it seems like nothing really happened, but the command actually fetched up all the branches. So like all the branches which are in the remote repository. So like essentially now my local Git knows about the branches in the remote repository. So if I go and say git branch, I still only have main and profiles because I haven't, even though my local Git knows about, let's say, the comics branch in the GitHub repository, I don't have it here just yet. So I'm going to go and say, well, I'm going to make the branch comics git checkout -b, and underneath comics, same as the branch on our GitHub. It's named comics, right? And we have switched over to it, right? Let's clear this up. Now, what would happen if I do git pull here? We know what happened when I did git pull on main, right? It reached over to the main branch. So my local Git reached over to GitHub and said, oh, there's a main branch right there. So I'm gonna grab everything from the main branch and I'm going to throw that in here. So let's see. Well, it says there's no track information for the current branch. It says, well, what do you want? You know, so git pull, you say, Git is saying to us, well, you're trying to do a pull, but I don't know what branch you want me to grab. You're really not on the main branch. You're on a different branch. You're on the comics branch, and you're trying to do a git pull, right? And Git says, well, you know what? Do you want me to grab the main branch and pull it into comics? Do you want me to grab the profiles or put it to comics? Which one do you want to do, right? Well, we tell Git, well, Git, please pull. Go to the origin, essentially, GitHub, and please pull the comics branch and merge it up with this branch here. So I don't care about reviewing any changes. So anything that's in the comics branch, merge it into here. And we're good. If we take a look at our comics branch, now it says we're up to date, essentially. We said, okay, Git, hey, go grab into the comics branch and pull up all of the changes. Now let's see what happens if another developer will push something up to the comics branch and we want to pull all of the changes. Let's say both of us are working on that comics branch. So let's take a look at that next. And let's say you get a message from our teammate. It says, hey, by the way, if you're working on the comics branch, just keep in mind that I've pushed up a couple of new comics. Let's see if it's on, if it's reflecting on the GitHub. Add to Batman Comics. So we got Batman Begins and Batman versus Mr. Freeze, and we don't have it here, right? because even though we do git status, we are in branch comics, nothing to commit, working tree clean, but we don't have it here because our local branch does not know yet of what's going on GitHub and of changes that our teammate has done to the comics branch. Well, we can do the same thing again. We can say git pull origin and comics, and we have to do it over and over again. We can do a little shortcut for ourselves. It's called setting in upstream. I think it's more technical, set upstream tracking. So what this means is we tell our local Git that this local branch will be linked to the following local branch in GitHub. But that's if we just want to do git pull and don't do git pull origin comics, git pull origin comics, and so on and so forth. So we can do the following command, and there's a lot of them. Git branch, and it's set upstream to, and we have to point it to which branch? Well, origin, and then comics. So we're saying, hey, look, from now on, whenever I'm on this branch, unless I tell you something else, when I do a git push, you're going to push to GitHub comics. When I do git pull, you're going to pull from GitHub, my project, whatever it's named, comics. I don't want to keep saying, hey, git pull origin comics or git push origin comics and so on and so forth. I just link it for me, essentially. So git branch dash set upstream to origin comics. And now it says branch comics is set up to track origin comics. And we'll do git status again. Now it says it's up to date, but not really, because as far as we know, we're up to date. But we'll do git pull, and we have our changes. So we didn't have to say, hey, go grab me from origin comics. Git did it automatically, and you kind of can see it in here. Comics, we're on branch comics, and it's grabbing information from origin comics. Now, if we up on here, now everything is updated. And a nice part about it, if we add another comic, let's say Batman, I don't know, and the Riddler. Jump back to our directory, git status, on branch comics, branch is up to date with origin comics, and we'll do git commit dash m. No, we'll first add dash all, and then we'll do git commit dash m, added the Riddler comic, add. I'm using present tense, so I'll go with that. Add the Riddler comic, and now I don't have to do git push origin to comics. I can now just do git push because I've set the upstream with that little command. I just basically made a shortcut for myself.